One thing that I learned in this class is that entrepreneurship is a skill, not something that is natural to everybody. For example, I'm a very introverted person, but that doesn't mean that I can't present myself well or learn how to present myself well and learn how to be an entrepreneur, because those skills can be taught. Not everyone is naturally outgoing. We learned that having the right team is a very important aspect if you're going to be running a business with people. Not only do you want people that are on the same page as you when it comes to seeing what the future of the business looks like or what routes you're going to take, but also just someone that's very trustworthy, because there are a lot of business partners that are not. If you're starting a business, it's important to make sure that it's something you're passionate about. I, like Tara, would not enjoy running a lawn care company. I have no passion in that area. So I wouldn't have much motivation or even expertise when it came to a business like that. I definitely need to be running something that I care to keep going and want to improve. If you hate what you're doing, then don't be afraid of changing it. You have the ability to do that, whether it's your classes you're taking, a job you may have, a business you start. If those things aren't going in the direction that you want them to go, then you have the ability to make that change. And I would much rather take a risk on doing something that I know I would enjoy more than stay stuck somewhere I don't like to be. As an entrepreneur, you are always marketing yourself and your brand. Wherever you go, any encounters you have, you are representing your brand, and people will perceive your brand and think about your brand in the way that you act. So you always want to make sure that you're making the best first impressions you can, being as presentable and professional as you can be. This class gave me a real opportunity to practice pitching and practice presenting myself in front of people. As an entrepreneur, that is a critical skill. If you can't do that, you really can't be successful, because you're always pitching yourself. So it was very useful to have an opportunity to really do that with topics that I normally wouldn't cover. Something that I just noticed throughout the class that I had never really thought about before was the fact that I could run multiple businesses. I always thought that would be too overwhelming for my life, so I never really considered it an option. But seeing Tara run so many businesses makes me want to do that more in the future as well, and makes me more open to the multiple business ideas that I have instead of just narrowing it down to one. Failure isn't just something that should be expected, but it's also something that's necessary. I really enjoyed the activity where we went around and tried to find failure. I kind of used that as an opportunity to ask local businesses things about art, or if they'd be willing or open to having me do art for them, and I used it as a branching for my business. And I was really shocked with how open a lot of businesses were, and I never would have asked. It is so important to ask your customers and your target market what they want, what they would be willing to buy from you, and what they'd be willing to pay. All of those questions, because a lot of times we just assume that we know what people will want and we have a business idea or a product that we want to bring to people, but oftentimes they can help us make our business so much more successful if we ask. You have to network, and you have to be willing to meet and talk to people. You never know what people you're going to meet at certain events, or what connections even some customers may have. If you're willing to talk to people and get to know people, it can open so many more doors that you would have never even imagined. To create and develop a good brand, you have to know your customers and know what they'll pay attention to. That way you can choose a name, a logo, colors, the way you advertise. All of those things need to be identifiable so that your customers know who you are and know what you do. Recognizing opportunity and developing ideas, seeing the world through a new lens, is something that I've really been focusing on after hearing it in this class, because there's a lot of ideas and business ideas that I would love to do in the future, but had never really thought about much before, or I hadn't seen or paid attention to the needs for these things before. Learning about revenue models and the different ways that businesses can make money kind of helped me step outside of the box of what I normally do. I tend to think of a business idea and I'll think of the one way that business will make money, when really there's many ways that one business can generate revenue and make it much more profitable. Be more collaborative than strictly competitive. Oftentimes businesses will flourish more if they're able to work together to provide more value for their customers, and they'll be more profitable than if they were just doing things on their own, because more opportunities arise when you're open to collaborating. I really enjoyed learning about the business model canvas, because prior to this, I had just been taught about business plans, how to make those, and although those are great for looking at the future of your business, I really felt that the business model canvas laid out the business more so right in front of me, so that as the owner, you can really see where it is your business is going and what you're doing. Learning about social entrepreneurship in this class gave me more motivation to incorporate it in a future business. It was something I had not given a lot of thought before the class, but after realizing that there are a lot of issues that I'm even passionate about supporting and helping, and that I could support and help, it makes me a lot more motivated to incorporate it into a business. I loved having the speaker Derek Richards for one of our classes. It gave me a lot of really great insight and kind of solidified some ideas I'd already had. I've thought about real estate and Airbnbs for the past probably 4 or 5 years, and it really made me want to do it as part of my career path. And it also opened up a possible new opportunity for art for me, so that's exciting. This class really made me more aware of the local side of Manhattan. I really didn't realize that there was a big differentiation between the local side and the campus side of it, but I really started to feel like I was being integrated more and more with the community members that I was meeting through the class, as well as the activities that we had to do outside of class. So that was really helpful. I really appreciated being encouraged to go into the Entrepreneurship Center, to join the Entrepreneurship Club, to join Women in Business, because those are all opportunities and things that I would want to do, but would have probably felt too timid to had I not been told about the opportunities directly. And they also led to a lot of great introductions and people that I now have in my network. Being informed about the launch competition was a huge thing for me, because I definitely wouldn't have heard about it had it not been for this class, and I wouldn't have been motivated or encouraged to do it. So that was really great, because I really appreciated having an opportunity to pitch my business, to present it in front of other community members, to get my own name out, and the scholarship opportunity that it gave me.